Good morning to you. I look like Pippi Longstockings today. Who remembers Pippi Longstockings? Flicks. This is what lockdown is doing to us. Actually looked alright in the mirror. Doesn't look too good on camera, does it? Good morning, my lovely yogi peeps out there across the world. At the moment I'm talking to myself. Let's see who joins us for our yoga today. Okay, here we go. Who have we got on? Is that Brenda? I think Brenda's just joined us. Flick, 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 flick. Who have we got joining us today? Ay. Say hello, say hi, let me know you're there. Frida, hi Frida. Are you enjoying your yoga, Frida? I hope so. You're joining me every morning, so gratitude to you for dropping in. Brenda, good morning, my darling. Hello. Who have we got coming on today? Topsy Turvey Tuesday. Hey Sarah Evans, nice of you to check in. Sue Tinkler, good morning. Sarah Longlegs is in the house. Caroline, hello. Is that Jules just joined as well? So, asked to give a shout out to New Zealand today. So we've got people on from Spain, Belgium, Netherlands, England, Ireland, and New Zealand. Well, New Zealand won't be joining us right here, right now, because Catherine will be tucked up in bed. Now I am. Good morning, Sue. Oh, Sue from London. What's it like in London, Sue? Are you on complete lockdown there yet? Yeah, so Catherine said, please shout out to New Zealand, because Catherine went on holiday, for a lovely holiday to New Zealand, had a fabulous time, and all this craziness happened, and she is stuck there. Worst places in the world to be. She's absolutely in a beautiful, stunning place, but obviously it's like this. So, hello, Catherine. Morning, Sue. Sue said good morning to Sarah. Okay, we've got 13 on. So, I did something really naughty today. Normally for breakfast, I just have my superfood smoothie shake. Fills me up, but it doesn't make me feel bloated. Hey, Sharon. Hello, Shazza. Doesn't fill me up, doesn't make me feel bloated. Fills me up. It's fine, I can move with it. This morning, I fancied some porridge because guess what? It's raining again in Spain. Not going to complain, even though it's rained almost every single day. So I fancied some porridge this morning and I knew it was wrong. Where's Valerie from? El Portet. Hey, Valerie. And okay, Sue's got sunshine in London. Please send it back. It's not meant to be like this in Spain. We're on week 3 of lockdown and I think we've had 2 nice days so far. So, you know, thought we were going to get the gardening done. Anyway, so this morning I had a big bowl of porridge. And that was 40 minutes ago. Heavy food is not good before yoga. Let me tell you that. And I knew, I was like, oh, yoga porridge. So the immediate gratification outweighed what I knew was the right and sensible thing to do. So I hope you haven't done what I've done, because you probably start to feel pretty sick through this morning if you have. Okay, well, Sharon's got the kids doing it as well. Yes. All right, and what did Sarah have? She had porridge as well. I hope you had it longer than 45 minutes ago though, Sarah. Otherwise you're going to be saying hello to it again. It's going to be making a reappearance. Okay, so if I stop and just talk to you, as if I would do in class, I'll just kind of walk around the room and watch you. Hi Michelle, morning Jane. It's because my porridge has decided to rise up. So today we're going to be doing lots of forward folds, so lots of types of like inversions or anything where your hips are higher than your heart and your heart is higher than your head. So we're going to be doing lots of standing forward folds. We're going to be doing downward facing dogs first. Sarah had a porridge. Well done. So we're going to be doing downward facing dogs and we're going to be doing lots of standing forward folds. Really strengthen the back of the body, the hamstrings, the spine, the muscles down the back, and also get that blood flow moving. So inversions are really good for your circulation and for your health, because they move all the lymphatic system around the body, so that's your waste disposal system. But please be careful if you do have high blood pressure and you are not taking medication. Please be careful with your forward folds. Good morning, Ruth. Island is here. Brilliant. And Katie. So if you have high blood pressure and you are not on medication, I advise you not to take your heart lower than your hips and not to take your head down lower than your hips. Morning, Sarah. So what I mean by that is that you can really still open up the hamstrings and the back of the body by folding to here. Okay, so we want to keep the heart elevated. Now I'm really feeling this in the back of the legs. See how straight my spine is? Now when it's not this is nothing's happening here, nothing's happening in the hamstrings, and all I'm doing is rounding the back. My knees, I'm lifting my bum up to the sky, through the spine. So that's if you have high blood pressure. If you take medication, then it's fine. Just like be aware of your body, be aware of how you feel. Also, if you suffer with any eye conditions such as glaucoma, you don't really want that pressure coming up to the head, so be careful with that. Again, keep the heart lifted, keep the head lifted slightly. You can still do all of these, but just be conscious of where your head is in relation to your heart and your hips, so just be careful there. Okay, we're going to start on the hands and knees. It's freezing today, but I'm going to take this jumper off because I will get warm. I've got the fire on, so excuse me while I take a layer off. And get yourself on your mats. Coming on to hands and knees. Sometimes I have a bit of a moment where I take a layer off and I think, have I got anything on underneath here? Especially when I've got 3 or 4 layers on, I just keep stripping them all off and I think, is that my last one? I don't know. Okay. Excuse me. Oh, they're damp. We are in nice table position. So we've got hips over knees, we've got shoulders over wrists. Again, please remember your hand position because we're going to be starting a lot onto the feet for quite a bit, but we're going to be on the hands a lot. So fingers are spread. This space between the index finger and the thumb stays down into the floor if you can. I know if you've got arthritis in your thumbs or your wrists, that's kind of hard, but if you can. And this little finger that produces this strange angle when we take it out, just bring that in. See this angle in the thing? Puts a lot of pressure on the outside of the wrist. I can actually even feel that now. So bring it in. Transfers the weight from the outside of the wrist up to the shoulders. Also, if you're really feeling it, take your hands a little bit in front of your shoulders so they're not directly underneath. Okay? Remember, you can come onto the fists. So you can take the hands like this, come onto the back of the fist, that sometimes helps, but otherwise we're down on the floor. Okay, and we're going to work breath and movement. So exhaling completely. Oh, I've got itchy nose. Inhaling, shoulder blades back towards the hips, hips lift to the sky, belly towards the floor. Exhaling, draw the belly up, chin to chest, tuck the tail under. Inhaling, heart forward, shoulders back, hips come high. Exhaling, belly up, tail under. Inhaling, really get this action of bringing your shoulder blades back towards your hips. So we feel a nice opening in the front of the body. Exhaling, draw the belly up, chin to chest. Inhaling. No need to lift the chin really high here. Extend through the neck. Exhaling. So you don't want to put pressure on the neck. We're lengthening rather than letting the head drop back. So there's no extreme movement through the neck. Exhaling round the spine, chin to chest. So we've done this before. Our inhale is always going to be here, with shoulders back, bum high, belly down. We're going to start to move the exhale. But we're always going to come back to our inhale here. Bum high, shoulders back. As we exhale now, rounding the spine, bum towards the feet. It's just for the exhale, we're not going to stay there. Inhale, we come straight back up, heart forward, shoulders back, bum is high. Exhaling, pull up that belly, round the spine, bum to feet. Shoulders back. In and out through. Exhaling, round the spine, bum to feet. Inhale, heart forward, shoulders. Our inhale, always here. Exhale, rounding the spine. I'm going to start to introduce another posture in our exhale. But inhale, always here. Shoulders back. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the hips, downward dog. So you've got 3 movements now in this little flow. Inhale, knees are down, shoulders are back, bum is high. Bum to feet, exhale. So your inhale is the same, but we alternate between down, inhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog. Inhale, knees to the floor, shoulders high. Bum to heels, round the spine, come back, bum to heels. Inhaling, shoulders back. Last one, downward dog. And pressing into the hands here, lengthen the spine. So I'm going to move forward so you can just see my legs in the screen there. So my knees are slightly bent now. I'm not trying to press my heels towards the floor. This is going to pull down on my hamstrings are quite tight. They're going to pull down on my pelvis, and I get a little roundness in the spine. Yes, I can get my heels to the floor, but it doesn't feel like I'm getting the extension in the back. So I'm going to soften the knees, lift the heels slightly, lift those hips higher, push the hands down into the floor, turn the triceps down towards the floor, spread those shoulder blades across the back, and the inner arms are turning inward. So your upper arms are turning out, triceps to the floor, but your lower arms are turning in. So you're pressing that space between the thumb and the index finger into the floor. Okay, bring the knees down. And bum to heels. Come off the hands, just release those wrists a little bit. So I like to turn my fingers back towards me, coming onto the back of the hands just to stretch out the back of the wrists. So going into it, downward dog, plank, little flow now. So, hands forward, get your hand position, little fingers in, tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the bum, take your downward dog. I'm going to move forward again so you can see what's happening. And from here, shoulders forward over wrists coming into your plank. So shoulders are back towards the bum, belly is up, push the knees, lift the heels. So we're going to lower the knees, but don't let the knees touch the floor. They're hovering off the floor. And press that chest, belly back towards the thighs. So we're pushing into the toes, knees are off the floor. See that length of the spine from fingertips to hips. And then keeping this length of the spine, lift your bum up to the sky. And then we come forward into plank. Bend the knees, belly towards the thighs. Straighten up those legs, lift the bum to the sky, downward dog. Inhale to plank. Bend the knees, push the belly to thighs. Straighten those legs, bum to sky, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, plank. It's tough on the shoulders. Exhale, downward dog. See how we're just floating through this. We move forward nice and smooth. And scoop it all back. Hold it. Walk these feet up towards the hands, or the hands to the feet. Keep the chest low. Keep the knees bent. Keep the neck long. pelvic floor lifting, belly in, and inhale, lift the eyes, lift the heart, push into those legs, come all the way up, reach through the sky. Whoa, did you find that tough? Is it hard on the wrists, the shoulders? Using a bit of core through that as well, mobilising the back. Okay, let's just do one little swallow dive to the floor. Inhale, down, out and up, big circle with the arms. Exhale to the floor, soften those knees. Inhale, halfway up, shoulders back, heart forward. Exhale all the way over. Inhale all the way to the top. Exhale, hands down. Release the hands. Okay, before we go upside down, we have to learn to stand upright. So, little mountain pose. We've done this before if you've been following along. So there's a space between the feet, hip distance, so these bony bits, the front of the hips, the thighs follow down. Feel your weight in your feet. Really engage your feet down into the floor. Feel as though there's roots from your feet really engaging down into the floor. You want to feel all four corners of the feet underneath the ball of the big toe, the little toe, two sides of the heels. Feel the weight is even on the inside and outside of the foot, front and back, and left and right. So you want to feel nice and steady. And then imagine you're drawing energy up from the floor. So you're coming up through the feet, up through the legs. Feel those thighs active, pelvic floor lifting, lower belly in, little tightness in the glute muscles, in the bum. And I get peachy. And lengthen the spine. Imagine someone is lifting you up from the crown of your head. You want to feel space between the ribs and the waist. You don't want to be collapsed down here. Lift and lengthen. Shoulders down away from the ears. And your posture goes all the way to your fingers. Hands aren't loose. You want to really lengthen down. Really let these muscles engage in the arms, right through to the fingers. You want to feel active. Pelvic floor is up. Often what happens is we let the chest come out. We don't want to run to the rib cage. You're going to upper abdominal muscles, these muscles between the lower ribs, and you're going to squeeze them in. So you're drawing your lower ribs down towards your belly button. So if you're doing the same action as if you're doing a crunch sheet sit-up. How are you doing? Let me see. Okay. You're doing all right. And we're breathing. It's hard. Everything from your diaphragm down is active, so it's kind of hard to breathe. So you need to use all this space across the chest. Okay, and now I want you to activate your legs a little bit more. So the feet are being sucked down into the floor. Drag them away from each other. If you're on a sticky mat, they won't be moving. I don't actually want you to physically move and step your feet away. We're trying to drag them apart. So if you're on a sticky mat, you will feel all of those muscles around the hips, the bum, the thighs, all really engage. Turn the palms out, lift them shoulder height, and then all the way up over the head. When you lift the arms, don't lose your neck into your ears. Going to use these muscles around the shoulders to draw the shoulders down away from the ears. So you want a big space. If it feels okay on your neck, we're going to bring the hands together to touch. So all of these muscles active in the arms. Now when I've lifted up, I'm still zipping up. Pelvic floor, upper abdominals, all the way up here. Lower ribs are in. So I haven't allowed this to happen. Squeezing in and back. Imagine your back is against a wall. We did this against the wall last week. Might do it again this week. So it's really good to familiarise yourself with how you're meant to be feeling. Everything should be shaking a little bit. Using big muscles just standing here. Okay, if you've held your breath now, release the breath, release the arms, take the hands together. Inhale out and up. Exhale to the floor. Halfway up, shoulders back, lengthen that spine. All the way over, nose to toes. and all the way up. Belly is in, hands together. Exhale back to the heart. Now, if you're not facing the long edge of your mat, turn around so you're facing the long edge. I'm going to take a big step wide. Okay. Step. When you take your arms out, if you were to tie a piece of string around your wrist, that piece of string should drop down and just hit the outside of your ankle. So you want to be nice and wide, but please don't do the splits, and make sure you're on a non-slippy surface. I don't want anybody slipping and cause themselves injury here. All 10 toes are facing forward, so outside edges of the feet parallel with the mat. Hands on the hips. I'm going to turn side on so you can see what's happening from this direction. We're going to soften the knees first. Soften the knees so we can release these hamstrings. From your hip crease, push that bum away. Bum is coming out. See, nice flat back down towards the floor. Now chest is parallel to the floor. Remember, if you have unmedicated high blood pressure or any eye condition, please hold it here. Next exhale, chest all the way down as far as you can. My knees are still soft. I'm not straightening my legs. I am getting this stretch by lifting my bum up to the sky and lengthening my spine. Hands come to the floor. Now, if you're just up onto your fingertips, absolutely fine. This is brilliant. You can really work on lengthening the back and lifting the bum here. If you can get palms to the floor, you're going to walk them back as far as you can so the heel of the hand stays on the floor. I don't want you up onto the ball of the hand there. If you can get your hands in the same line as your feet, so your toes and your fingertips are in one line, we're going to bring them back here. Fingers facing forward. They're about shoulder distance apart. Inhale, lift that bum, lengthen the spine. Exhale, let the chest come down towards that space between the thighs. So as we inhale, our inhale lengthens. And as we exhale, we're gently pushing into the floor and bending those elbows back between the legs. Now I know your elbows are going to be wanting to come out towards your knees. So we don't want to do that. Squeeze the elbows together. Keep the upper arms parallel. Use the breath. Next inhale. We're going to come halfway up. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, hands to the hips. Soften those knees if they're not already. Pull in the belly. Push through those legs. Use your legs to power you all the way up. And then bring those feet together. Or you can keep them out wide. So we're going to take them straight back out. Just giving the legs a little rest. And then we're going to step them out again. So, round two, slightly different. I'm going to bring the shoulder blades back. So really roll those shoulders back. Bring the hands behind. Interlock the fingers. So look, this is what it looks like. Here, hands are locked. I know you're going to want to do this. Right? Try as much as you can to keep these hands together, because as soon as you do this, the shoulders are able to lock forward. When we're keeping the hands squeezing together, shoulders can stay back, chest stays open. So this is where we're going to be. Elbows are soft. You don't want to lock these elbows. Oh, that hurts already. You don't want to lock these elbows. Elbows are going to stay soft. Shoulder blades squeezing together. Soften those knees. Same action. From your hips, start to fold forward, halfway. Inhale. We're squeezing those shoulder blades together. See how the hands start to lift off the spine. Exhale. We're going to fold forward. Let those arms come up off the spine. They might lift an inch. They might come towards the sky. They might come over the head. They might touch the floor. So we're creating flexibility in the shoulders. We're opening across the front of the chest. Flexibility through the hamstrings. Long spine. Squeeze those shoulders together. Open up the chest. Few breaths.
Next inhale, push down into those feet. Come up halfway. Lengthen the spine. Oh, exhale, keep the hands together. Inhale, all the way up. Push into those legs. Lift heart. Exhale, release the hands back to the hips. If you feel dizzy when you come up, always come up slowly. If you still feel dizzy, just focus on something really close to you. So I often take my hands together and just look at the thumbs. Just let the eyes reset, let the mind become still. Make sure you breathe. We're taking a lot of oxygen up to the brain when we come forward. So really take it nice and slowly. We've got 2 more of these standing forward folds to do. This time, hands on the hips. And you're going to have your fingers in the front of that hip joint. So find that bony bit, your thumbs at the back, and you're going to use your fingers to help you do this little tilt. See this? So your fingers squeeze into the front, you're using your thumb to push into the back of the hip to get that nice rotation. So you're going to be your own adjustment teacher here. Now if you were in class with me, I might come behind and I might do that little twist with your hip joint there. But I'm not there, I can't touch you, so you're on your own. Hey Gav. Okay, so feet nice and wide, knees are soft, fingers in the front. Push the hips away, so you're going to dig your fingers into the front of your hips and push them away. Use your thumbs at the back to rotate the pelvis forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Keep the hands on the hips this time. Hands stay on the hips. You should have lost your fingers now. They should be squashed in that hip joint. Couple of breaths. Neck is relaxed. Don't hold any tension. Neck is relaxed. Your gaze is between your legs. Lengthen the spine, so no force, no pressure. Next inhale, halfway up, pull in that belly. Exhale here. And inhale, push down into those legs, come all the way up to standing. Whoa. Release those hands, step the feet together. If you need to give those legs a rest, I'm going to come and face this direction now. We've got 1 more of those wide leg standing forward folds to do. So when you're ready, big wide step. Again, make sure all these toes are facing forward. I'm saying that because we want our hips to be facing in the same direction, so there's no twisting happening in the knee joint. Okay, so not because it looks pretty, because there's an anatomical reason. That's a big word, isn't it? Anatomical. Okay, so again, same action. Bending those knees, push that bum away, bring the chest forward halfway. Inhaling nice and deep. Exhaling, chest down, bum is high, all the way over. Take 2 fingers and take hold of your big toes. So 2 fingers between your big toe and your second toe. As we inhale, we lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, you're going to bend those elbows out towards the sides, lift them up towards the sky. We've still got hold of the big toe. Exhale, fold forward. So we're creating a right angle in the elbow joint. The outside of your hand, the back of your hand is facing outwards. Your palms are facing in towards you. Your elbows are moving out and up. Exhale, lengthen that spine. Really create length in the spine, space between the vertebrae. Push into those feet. Pull in that belly, come up halfway. Whoa, exhale, hands to the hips. Belly is in, pelvic floor lifting, all the way up to the top. Wow. Take your time if you've got a little bit dizzy. Step those feet together. Oh my, I'm actually feeling it on the outside of my ankles today. I'm feeling it right up. Hamstrings come right up into your butt there, so I'm feeling the tops of my hamstrings there. Got a big stretch, a nice spine. Okay, facing the short edge of your mat.
We're going to inhale out and up. We're going to come down to the floor. Exhaling, fold forward. Halfway up long spine. All the way over. And bring those knees down to the floor. So we're going to step back. Knees come down. Bum to heels. We have one more inversion before we finish off. Should we do headstand? Should we all come up onto the heads? No, not today. Maybe next week. I would never do a headstand with you if I can't see you. So we are going to come and lie down. Okay, this seems funny calling bridge an inversion because we're actually lying on our backs, but our hips are going to be higher than our heart. Our heart is going to be elevated from the head. So it is an inversion in a sense. So, down onto the back. Shoulder blades are tucked in underneath. Can't see myself on the phone there, so I have no idea if I'm in shot. I think I am. Shoulder blades tucked in underneath. Hands next to the hips. Your feet are hip distance apart, so that means there's a little space. They're not wide. I'm going to turn this way to show you. Hip distance. See how narrow that is? See, a lot of people come into bridge, their feet are so wide because they think their hips are huge. It's only a little space. And I turn back this way because I'm sure you don't want to see that view. Okay, shoulder blades underneath, hands next to the hips. Push down into your feet. Excuse me. So push your feet down into the floor as if you're trying to push the floor down away from you. As you push down, if you're pushing hard enough, your bum is going to start to lift off the floor. I want you to use this leg strength. Keep pushing the feet down, push them down and forward as if you're trying to push them to the top of the mat. Your feet are going to lift higher. Push your knees forward. Once the thighs start to lift, push into your shoulders. So really push those shoulder blades and rotate these shoulder heads back down towards the floor. So open up the heart. Push those legs. You can rock a little side to side to get those shoulder blades tucked right under. So the feet are pushing down into the floor. The shoulders are pushing down into the floor. Feeling a big stretch in the quads, the front of the thighs. Engaging through the bum and the hamstrings are working. But look at the inversion. We've got hips higher than heart, heart higher than head. Legs are active and come all the way down. Whoa. Now, I know some of you, when you've lifted up, your knees will have gone quite wide. So, if you have a little cushion or a yoga block or a thick book, like quite a thick book, we want it sort of this width. And take that between the thighs. And we're going to squeeze onto that cushion or that block, like really squeeze. Push the feet into the floor. Push them down and forward. Down and forward. Lift the thighs. Lift the hips. Lift the ribs. Lift the heart. Push into those shoulders. Activate. Thighs squeezing together. Feel the legs working. Hey. Few breaths. Probably got about 3 chins in this direction now. Count my chins later to see them. And all the way down. Vertebra by vertebra down into the floor. And the hips lower. If you've got something between your thighs there, just take it off to one side. And I'm going to take my hands underneath the hips. I'm sitting on the back of my wrists. Palms are down onto the floor. I'm going to bring the knees into the chest. And then take those feet up to the sky. Our last inversion. Okay, our legs are lifted, so it's really nice for the legs to give the legs a little bit of relaxation. So there's no effort here. I'm not flexing or pointing the toes. Just let the feet relax. Let the knees, the thighs relax. If you have got blocks or cushions,
It is always nice to take this a little bit higher to bring the back of the hips, and then the hips are elevated a little bit more, and you can use your hands just to rest your thighs into your hands. Feels really nice, let everything relax. So just remember, drop me, I'm interested to hear what you want. We've got for at least probably another 2 weeks, haven't we, lockdown. So tell me what you enjoy, any postures that we've done, any questions you've got, you know, if you've struggled to understand instructions, you don't know what I'm talking about, please drop me a message or pop it in the comments at the end of class. Yeah, let me say, tomorrow I think we are going to be warriors tomorrow, so we're going to have a Warrior Wednesday tomorrow, something to look forward to. Okay, bring those feet down, give the knees a little hug into the chest. If you're on a block, bring the hips down to the floor, and let's have a little rock, side to side, side to side. These 30 minutes go so fast. Ay, ay, ay. And bring those legs all the way out for your relaxation. Just let everything soften down into the floor. Take a few minutes to take some breaths. Just feel the rise and fall of the belly. And again, if anybody is interested in maybe just having some breath work classes, so maybe we can do some little 10 or 15 minute slots at another time in the day. If you want to focus on some, again, please, just drop me a message, let me know. Pranayama or breath work is so important, but when we've just got a class of 30 minutes, it's kind of hard to get everything in, so I often spend at least 10-15 minutes on the breath. So if that is something that interests you, if you think that can help at this point, it's really good to help with meditation, with anxiety and stress some of you might be feeling right now. Then let me know, we can do some breath work. So feel free to stay there in your relaxation, taking your breaths, or if you want to finish with me now, then bring yourself up to seated. Nice comfortable seated position. Might want to try crossing your legs, so long legs. Says. And we'll finish off with our gratitude, whether you're still lying on the floor in your relaxation or whether you're seated. We can take a moment for our gratitude. So I always take hands behind the back. Take hold of one wrist with the opposite hand. Let the head and chest bow down towards the floor. Taking a moment, gratitude to yourself for your strength, your resilience. Gratitude to your yoga practice. And to think of someone or something in your life that you're grateful for today. Be interested to know how many of you are writing your gratitudes down each day. It's a nice practice to write down your gratitudes. A few blinks to open the eyes, lift the head and chest, release the hands, palms together. Thank you all so much once again for joining me this morning. Give me something to look forward to every day. Enjoying these little sessions with you. Like to see your comments. Like to see your messages at the end. Have a lovely, happy, healthy day, and until tomorrow, namaste. Thank you.